Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching us. Welcome to another edition of Bramble Talk. And with me this morning, I want to introduce a wonderful person here. And this person, before I tell you her name, she's going to be co-hosting with me henceforth. So in our next video, you might not see me hosting this program. She might be the one. So kindly, she's part of this program. All right, I'm welcoming Miss Evelyn Holaniyon. You're welcome.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here on the show with you, and I'm glad to be taking us on this ride of education. And I believe it's going to be awesome.
Yes, very, very awesome. It has always been wonderful, and we don't expect nothing less than that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we have we have a topic to dissect this morning. Yes, we have a topic to dissect this morning together. We'll be talking about it. I know you've been hearing this, even though you are not hearing it, you've been saying it by yourself, like what is going on in the education system. Of course, this show is all about education. So we want to talk about it this morning and clear some doubts that may be lurking in your mind about this topic. We're talking about, is education a scam? Is education a scam? Forget it. I don't believe that education is a scam because we have been in this system. So, and we know it is not a scam. So, we want to clear your doubt this morning that education is not a scam. Yeah? So, we have the same mindset. Alright, so you're welcome. You have the flow. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And
Education
I
is
don't think you
scam.
believe.
All right. So actually, you all already talked about your opinion, so you don't know the opinion of this outside. Okay, like she said, I personally don't believe education is a scam.
Yeah.
Okay, because it depends on your definition of what education is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
depends on your definition of what education is.
Education.
So,
Yes.
okay, if you're saying education is a scam, then I should throw it back to you, viewers at home. What is education, or
Education.
what is your definition of education? Because it has been a common thing. Even while I was in school, I think once in my lifetime, I said education is a scam,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very sure you actually did that too.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
So it
did.
depends on what is your definition of education. I think we should start from there.
Yes, yes,
What is your
yes,
definition of
yes.
education? Because if you're saying education is a scam, then you're saying that you're learning from your childhood. Everything you've been learning from childhood
It's
is
a scam.
totally a scam. So I will not agree with the fact that education is a scam.
Yes, of course
Okay,
it is.
so let me put it back to you. What
Okay.
is education?
Okay, to me, education is a lifelong process. Like it is not what you start on in a day, but it started from when you were given birth, like from childhood, from even right from the womb. Yes, and some pregnant women used to start their baby like stay here, don't go there, stay there, and they used to listen. So that's education. Education starts from your childhood till you will die. You keep learning. You keep
Yeah,
learning.
yeah. You really got it there because I'm really, really in support of what you just said.
Thank
Because
you.
education is a lifelong process. It starts from when you are given birth to, and the day education ends is the day you die. That is why you hear
Exactly.
people saying that the day you stop learning is the day you
You.
start dying.
Yeah.
So education is not a scam. You can actually say probably I think the issue here is people misinterpret schooling for education.
Exactly. That's the
And
problem.
I remember a word of Mark Twain who says that he actually said something concerning schooling and education. He
Mm-hmm.
said it has never allowed the schooling interfere with his education. So
Education
it's of two different things: schooling,
and
education.
education.
So I think the problem here is we actually believe, and I'm very sure you believe that too. Once in your life that when you go to school, that is where you get education.
Education.
That's where
Yes.
you get the whole education. So I think that is where the problem is. I think
Exactly.
that's where the problem is.
Exactly.
So it is not like that. Schooling is different from education. You actually go to school to acquire knowledge, you acquire ideas, you acquire everything, and all these things are packaged together in a paper which we call a certificate.
Certificate.
So you might actually think certificate. Oh, okay, I have my certificate now. Then I can give something to society. The question is, what do you have to give to society outside
without
the
certificate.
certificate.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that point. I actually want to stress on that point too. Schooling and education, and that is where everybody's saying you can as well say schooling is a scam. Education is not a scam, and schooling itself is not even a scam. It's the way we as learners, as students, viewed it, because what you are being taught is to crank up creative ideas in you, and not for you to just taking everything and pour it the way you have been given.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes, so
true.
there is a place for teachers and the learners to understand those patterns. Teachers is not what you have been taught in the olden days, during the olden days, during the
19th
1960s,
century
and you see some teachers using that same book, their
method for this
notebook,
21st century.
and
Yeah,
you come to the
I
class with it and you
understand.
start teaching. Why will your learners not think that schooling is a scam? Because it's just like you are making repetitions of things that has been done before,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
supposed to spark up a new idea. The reason why we go to school is not because we want to keep repeating the same process, but to bring out new ideas.
Yes.
But the whole system has changed because we think that we don't there is nothing new in the syllabus. Even though there is nothing new in the syllabus, there are many things you can bring that will make the syllabus becomes new. Yes.
Yeah. When you guys really made me think of creativity. I really want to talk about that creativity a lot because we have actually think that when it comes to, okay, for instance, someone who studies physics, you
Uh-huh.
might you might have thought that when I go outside the world there,
You
I'll
first
be able to connect my wire
wire
with another
together.
wire with the red and the black, and it gives me a spark. It is not really like that outside the
Of
world
yeah,
today because
yeah.
the more you keep growing, the more the world keeps elaborating,
Thank
and the
you.
more things keep changing. You see, technology is changing and everything. So you need to add up to your knowledge. You don't just depend on my certificate
And what you have been taught in
and
class.
what you have been taught in class. I think when I was in secondary school, then we do make fun of this teacher because then my teacher will always tell me it's good to read
Hmm.
more than this thing you have read. I
Yes.
think then we are looking at it that I don't know if you have a teacher that said
Yes,
so to you
yes,
too,
yes,
because
yes, I have.
then I was looking at it like you are meant to give us everything because
Every
we pay for our school
thank
fees.
you,
You're
thank
meant to
you.
give us everything, but I got to understand that now that the educational system of our society is not really good, then you yourself need to choose up. You need to go out there, learn new things, learn new skills, creativity, how
Creativity.
to solve problems,
Yeah,
critical
critical
thinking.
thinking,
These are things that
technology.
you need to go out there to learn, not that you just sit back because you've gotten your certificate. And
Oh,
you know the funny side of it is many youths will now give the whole blame to the government.
government.
Government is scam.
Hey,
The country is so bad.
bad,
These
everything,
things, things,
everything.
things are happening. The economy is so poor and everything. What do you do? Like, what can you do to bring this economy back to the best stage?
Yeah.
What do you have to give? It is not about the government alone.
Mhm.
You know, the funny side of it is we particularly are part of this government.
Of course, we are government. We are the government.
we we are part of this government.
Mhm.
We are part of what
To
to
do,
do. We are
we
part of
should look
look at.
to.
Not
We are part
that
of
we
this
should
look.
just conclude that education
Yes.
is a scam. This is it. When you are going for this interview, when you are going outside the world, what do you think or what do you have in mind to give people
Mhm.
outside there?
Mhm.
What do you might have in mind to give people outside there?
And the another thing that I think, like, what makes people think that education is a scam is because you see people who are educated becoming nuisance, contributing to the nuisance in the society.
That's really a good point
Yes,
there.
they contribute to the nuisance going on in society, and
Mm.
you kind of wonder like, oh, and you said you are educated. You understand? But
Yeah.
education, in the old sense, it builds both your attitude, your cognitive, your affective, your
Everything about
locomotive,
you.
everything about you.
Everything.
It's not about your what you are reading, what you're writing, what you are speaking, but your attitude, the way you react to people.
Yeah.
Some
That's
people lack that manner, like that manner. They lack it so well. Like they don't know how to relate when it talks about respect. is not there at all. You just talk anyhow, shabby to people, address people the way they like. But education is not a scam,
Mhm.
because the real education is to help you build your whole person, like not totally leaving anything out.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. You nurture your person. You grow up to the full stature of who you are supposed to be.
thank
So
you.
it actually you see why people will actually say education is a scam. I will most times that when I think about this thing too, well, most times I don't really want to blame people again
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
in a particular part like a
Yeah.
section. There are sometimes I'll just okay, don't
Okay.
let us just come down to our own personal level because
Level.
the thing is actually the thing is most times the definition of what we get from school is different from what we is we have given all our building everything we have think of it to be something that should be given to us in school.
Yes,
Meanwhile, most times school fails to give us these things.
everything. Yes, I was. I saw one a post yesterday said you need money for school, but school will not give you money that you are paying for it.
That is it. That is it. And I think according with that post also, I think recently I saw something like there are some skills that we should be taught in school. Skills
Mhm.
like all this how to make money, how to go into businesses
Digital
and things like
marketing.
digital marketing and things like that, content writing. And it's actually a good one. It's actually a
Yes,
good one because these are things that school should look into too. As much as we have our faults saying education is a scam, school also has their faults.
their own fault. But the
School
real
also has
sense
their
is
faults.
education
Education is
is
not
not
a
a scam.
scam.
So we repeat
Education
again, education
education is
is
not
not
a
a
scam.
scam, and it
Education is
will
not a
never
scam.
be a scam.
Yeah.
Your own part as an individual is to work on yourself, like work on your own
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
Don't see education as a scam. Education will establish that education is the whole thing you can think about, anything you can think about, your attitude, the way you react to people, the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you communicate with people. They are all education.
Mhm.
Nobody taught you how to cook. Yes,
It's
nobody taught
part
you
of
how to cook.
education.
Nobody taught a suckling child how to suck
So
to suck. Nobody.
it's
That's
part of
that's
education.
education. Who taught you? Nobody. But it's an inbuilt, it's an inbuilt something, the inbuilt quality in us. It's an inbuilt quality. So we should treat it as that. Not education is a scam. Education is not a scam.
And I think to add to that too, for those of us that as an educator now, you have these elementary classes with your students.
Yeah.
You're bringing them up to have a divine
Oh,
education
of
because
course.
most times when you say education is a scam, I'll be like, you're telling me I'm a scam because I'm an educator.
Oh.
Gosh. So the thing is, I think we that we are beyond the elementary level look outside the world. What
Yeah.
can you learn? To start you start thinking. What can you learn? Seek out the world. Most times you might not be competent in what you've read in school. You might not
Of
be
course,
competent in because
yeah. Going by the way Jam is going, eh?
okay, so you might not really be good at what you've learned in school, but what is that inbuilt potential? What is that passion you have? What is that thing? What is that problem you see you can solve?
So,
Go out there and knock it out.
yeah, go out there and knock it out. Go out there and unveil it. Yes,
Yeah, solve the
unveil
problem.
it. Solve the problem. Think about what you can solve. Think about even what you have studied in school. What problem can it fit into the
Yeah,
society and solve? Like, think about it, and you see your mentality about education will come with change, because you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Enjoy being a problem solver. Enjoy solving problems. Enjoy creating things. Enjoy it. You're like, ah, I cannot kill myself. And some people like, I cannot kill myself. I cannot kill myself, gangs. Please.
shall I try to think? Okay, well, I actually think this topic is a kind of an elaborate one.
Yeah.
So with time, I'm very sure we're going to be dissecting
We
more
dissect
into
more
this.
into it.
Dissect more
Yeah,
into
we
it.
we dissect more into it. We look into it. So thank you very much. We have come to the end of today, and I hope we have been able to clear your doubts that education
It's
is not
never a
never a
scam.
scam. So we'll see next time on Bramble Talk, another edition coming up next in 2 weeks time. Thank you for staying with us. Miss Evelyn, you're welcome.
Thank you very much,
My
ma'am.
name remains Omoyemi Adeayo. We want to appreciate the whole crew. We want to appreciate the director of Bramble Learning Space, Miss Odunayo.